Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and this is actually a very impromptu video. So currently as I'm recording this video, this is going to be round 3 of my online Discord tournament for the 5th edition, I do believe. And I figured I'd actually showcase this matchup live just because it's a pretty hype matchup because these guys are, they know each other, they're friends and stuff. So it's going to be Zoodiac versus Virtual World here. And we're not too late, as it's turn 2 right now. So we see Zoo just going normal summon Whiptail, going Trident, set 1 pass, and then Virtual World activated Desires, and that got ashed. And then now we see Imperm on Trident. So we're going to see what the follow-up ends up being here. According to what both of these players have told me, this is almost an unwinnable matchup for Zoo, because they've tested this matchup a lot apparently. So I will trust their judgment. I haven't played too much Virtual World myself, which by the time you guys see this, that will probably change because of the fact that I'll have probably done the Cheap Competitive Contenders episode by then, and I'll be a lot more familiar with the cards. But yeah, this is like super impromptu, just out of the blue. So my commentary is a little bit bad. I apologize for that. But this is just going to be unfiltered live commentary, and I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just gonna leave everything here. And I didn't even get my overlay completely done. I didn't like put a title on screen or anything. I just opened up OBS and here we are. We're gonna see a Qinglong, and then we're gonna see Lao being activated. Probably checking to see the Desires banished here, because that could definitely be relevant. I don't believe you can special summon a monster with the same name as what you sent, correct? Yes. So he's going to send Yan Yan. Maybe that means another Virtual World in hand, or maybe that means just a pass. This is actually looking pretty good for Zoo, because barring, even if this is like an Imperm, it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're going to see Tenki being activated, and that will just grab another Zoo here. That's going to grab Rat, so pretty good follow-up now. We have access to Mega Clops lines if we want to, which is pretty nice. And I don't believe Half Miss is... actually, I can't remember if Half Miss is on combo or not, because some people are choosing to cut it. But other people are still valuing it for just a solid send later in the game. Just another way to recycle Trident as well. But yeah, I believe they list that one PPG was not playing combo. So there's a reasonable chance that Half Miss isn't on combo here. But yeah, we're just going to see how this goes. The commentary could be slow depending on how quickly the game itself plays out. But I will try and keep you guys entertained in the meantime. So what's... okay, we're going to see Barrage as well. So a very Zoo-heavy hand here. I'm interested to see if Thoroughblade is going to be the play to try and cycle through. Although I feel like if this was the line, then you probably would have searched maybe Ram. Or maybe he already even has a Ram and just opened up all the Zoo names. That is also entirely possible. But we shall see. Hasn't used the normal summon yet, so we'll see if he is going to go for anything. He's just going to summon the Ram straight up. Fair enough. Rat's going to come down next, not anything too shocking. Throwback to hard summoning Broad Bull, by the way. That used to be a thing. I actually joined the game back when Zoo first came out, and I was really, really bad. Okay, so he is on one combo. I definitely don't think you play more than one of this. But let's do an open private chat. Let's see. I'm gonna open it. Okay, so he's asking if he wants us to type stuff in chat. I'm just gonna tell him straight up. I'm commentating live. All right, so we're gonna see Borbo being summoned in the EMZ over the Ram. And gonna go for Gravity Controller, perhaps. Yes. Okay. Yeah, if you see them summoning in the EMZ, it's pretty telegraphed. They don't play any links besides this and Mega Clops, I don't believe. I guess you could play like Durimadol and stuff as well, or like Fringe Nightmares. I remember I was watching the PPG list, and he said that he played the access code package with Celine and Fiber, but it never came up. And I can definitely see that. It's really hard to make use out of it in this deck. We're going to see Shakanine over the Rat here, and then that's going to bring back the Ram. So yeah, that's like one of the utility purposes of Gravity Controller, just to get Zoos engraved if you don't have them. It allows you to like use Rat to send combo that way, if you want to have more recycling. Oh, and at main phase, we're going to see Nibiru. Alright, so Yeah, Jeebus is completely out of his engine, but this is not too bad. Because now there is no conceivable way that either Megaclops or Zeus is going to hit the board this turn. This token should be fairly small. I believe it's just 24 defense, if I am not mistaken here. They might be typing in chat. Oh, 44. Oh yeah, the Ram was summoned back off the Shakanine. I'm dumb. Yeah, so it's 44 defense. Totally forgot about that. All right. Attack position, unsurprisingly. And it might just be a pass back. So we're looking at a relatively slow grind game. But as long as this Barrage stays on board, it's going to be decent for Zoo to at least try and climb back. Plus there's combo engrave as well. So we're going to have to see Virtual World top deck something pretty nuts to actually come back into this game. Granted, any level 3 would be able to also trigger Nian Nian. Lulu would be obviously the best top deck here, I would imagine. I'm not really an expert on the deck, but I can infer just based on how this game state is going. Would definitely want resources. Because like the problem right now is that no matter which Virtual World monster he has, he's not even able to send the Qinglong. Unless if it's I believe Kirin is the one that double foolishes. But I think it only double foolishes for the for the card type that you don't target. So like in this case it would be Monster Trap. So I don't even think there'd be a way to get Qinglong to grave. So the only real way of searching would be Lulu. Although actually also there's no other cards in hand, so there's no card to send. Or yeah, to send afterward. We're gonna see City come down here. So that could get the trap, although there are no banished virtual worlds here. But he gets fixed that by using Qinglong on the field to just banish stuff from grave. So that's like one way to maybe cycle through that, although it's a very weak sort of engine. Like he really needs monsters to get going here. Oh, okay, so the other set was a Chuche. Alright. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I could be totally wrong here. This is like one of the only ones I don't know how to pronounce, just because the localization was a little bit strange. But yeah, it's going to be chained to the Kowloon here. And then we're going to see another trap. A play that could happen is the trap using its effect to pop the Qinglong to get it into grave. Oh, right, I forgot. This has another effect. Okay, so yeah, you can actually mill cards if you have different virtual world gates on your field. So that ended up milling literally nothing. So that is a real feels bad moment. This can banish, I believe, any virtual world card. So at least getting the Qinglong into grave actually is good for next turn, which is decent. So it's only a matter of time before he finds his way back into the engine. Although Half Miss also, again, still has the Barrage here, and there's not really a way that I can think of that Jeebus can out the Barrage at this current moment in time. So it really is looking like just a Nibiru smackdown into a Zoo push for next turn. Unless, again, I'm just totally missing something, but I wonder if it is worth using Qinglong to like search and then pitch. It could be worth doing that. Yeah, like you could do that, and then you can use the Qinglong on-field effect, and then like negate your Nibiru, and then use the trap to pop the Barrage. I think that's the play he's going to go for. The question is, alright, he's going to go for Kirin and then discard it or send it, and then probably do the Qinglong play, I would imagine. Yeah, alright. So probably going to be targeting... It only it negates monsters, right? Yeah, so negating Nibiru. Yeah, that way you can go and just pop the Barrage. So yeah, glad I kind of figured that out a little bit before it actually happened. It was kind of a crusty way to do it, because what it does is it forfeits your follow-up for next turn in exchange for ensuring that your opponent doesn't have follow-up, at least that you know of. I mean, any of these cards in hand could be Zoo monsters in theory, because I do believe they're both unknown. Interesting that Half Miss didn't use the combo in the end phase there. Interested as to why he decided to hold it. Alright, maybe he's just using it now to see what the options are. I mean, fair enough. If you're only on one combo, it really doesn't make that much of a difference whether you use it last turn or this turn. Gonna put back Shakanine, Trident, Borbo, Whiptail, and a Rat here. and that is going to net a draw here. So yeah, it's looking like, oh, Desires. All right, yeah, I think Zoo's gonna run away with the game here. Funnily enough, so yeah, about that 100% win rate there that I mentioned at the start, or I don't know if I said 100% win rate, but about that very, very narrow, slim chance. It looks like Zoo is actually gonna have a very favored game one. Yeah, the virtual world opening did not look very strong in particular. So Barrage gonna pop itself. That is going to be fine. So he's probably just gonna wait until the monster hits the board, and just hope that these aren't zoos. I don't really imagine what else you would hold it for, because this only targets face-ups. Unless if you're really holding to hit your own Qinglong, but in that case, you might as well just have left the other Qinglong engraved to begin with. So we'll see what the play is. Maybe Jeebus will wait for Half Mist to commit a bit more, because he did recycle all of his like zoo engines. So in the event that there's another zoo in hand, which is quite likely at this point, just going through all those resources, like making him go through the resources before committing to the normal summon would probably be better. Gonna go straight up into Dryden here, and then normal summon the blade. All right, so this is to prevent the trap from actually firing off here. We're gonna see Shakanine bring back. Might be targeting the ram here. Yep. Going for Zeus is also relatively reasonable, because there's a clear line to just Borbo and then wipe the board, which you could also argue is maybe not the best idea, because that would put the Qinglong in grave for a follow-up. But he's going to be drawing to 1 anyways, so again, like, that's the problem with this card, is that it's not a starter when it's in grave if you don't have anything to pitch. He's going to crash the Ram into the Nibiru to bring back the Shakanine. So it's like basically the Megaclops combo, except instead of committing Trident, you just commit your battle phase. And he's going to attack for 0 with Borbo just to leave the option of Zeus open. So now he can choose to go Tiger and then equip Shakanine or attach Shakanine, and then go for a Megaclops play here. Yeah, and then Clops attaching the Qinglong will probably be very, very good. Because if you chain Dryden to whatever the virtual world's target in hand, they can't identify what you targeted, so they can't send, and they have to send in order to special summon themselves from hand. So that is how those work there. He's gonna go for Megaclops here with the 3 zoos. I didn't really pay attention to which one he brought back off the Shakanine, but imagine it was just an Xyz monster. And then can go for a Megaclops to eat up the Qinglong, I would imagine. Because like the only real way, yeah, he's gonna target the Qinglong. Because the only real way that you get back into this game, if you're from VW's perspective, is if you somehow manage to get this back into grave and have like follow up. Gonna bring back Shakanine, which can trigger again, I do believe. Unless if it can't use this effect, I can't remember actually. Alright, JK. Oh, he's just gonna go for Zeus instead. Definitely fair enough. Setting another card, and it's looking very, very good. Like these two together on board is just like super, super crazy hard to out. Even though this actually clears your Omega Clops, unlike something like Nibiru, which is one of the cool things is like if you have this on board. So it looks like in the end phase, the trap attempted to activate, and then Dryden was chained. So then it can try again next turn. So we'll see what ends up happening, because Happiness is not really in any threat. Like, there's no real reason to use a Sky Thunder out of nowhere. Unless if he goes for the trap again in his turn, which is probably going to be the play. Which will be decent, because that'll actually put the Qinglong back in grave. But again, like, without any cards to actually... Oh, no, there's actually one card to pitch. So possible actually. Yeah, I totally like lapsed the last turn. I was like talking about how, you know, there's not gonna be any cards to discard for the Qinglong Grave Effects, but you know, drawing for turn is a mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! Might be a surprise. Yeah, I just totally forgot about that. My bad. But yeah, we are going to see the Chuche get rid of the Sky Thunder, and he's not going to chain it, which is fair enough because Mega Clops. Yeah, it's not that hard for Virtual World to out, to be fair, because they can just break sword it. But yeah, Qinglong gonna be used now, and all of a sudden the momentum actually is looking like it's gonna shift. Gonna grab the Lulu and then pitch Talents. So I do wonder what these set cards are because they haven't been used for a while. Oh, the Ash, the Insta Ash right there. That was the fastest Ash of the West. All right, we're gonna see normal summon, and then we're gonna see Nian Yan being brought back. So yeah, maybe a little bit preemptive. Oh, Ghost Bell, never mind. All right. So yeah, no Xyz play here. Looks like it's gonna be Nibiru beating over the Trident. Now this actually isn't too bad if you're from Jeebus's perspective, just because there's no Zoo engine. Plus, yeah, you can use a trap in main phase 2 to like modulate the level. That way you have another way to use a Chuche. So you can actually pop Mega Clop since it's only unaffected by monster effects, besides Xyz, of course. But yeah, this actually is a clean way to out the entire board. And even though it's a very weird setup, you don't see any of the Shen engrave, you don't see any of the synchros, like none of that. But hey, like you eventually outed the entire board. So just when I thought, you know, Z was going to run away with the game, I am surprised yet again by the momentum shift here, which is very, very nice. So we will now see how Zoo is able to kind of come back from this, if at all. Very, very interesting. It's going to be tough. There's no combo engrave now, so there's not a lot of follow-up. You have one Zeus engrave. I assume that he's on 2. But Dryden and Megaclops are also both engrave. You used Desires already, so there's probably some Zeus banished. You already used Barrage, and you've gone through 3 Zeus. Rat could possibly still be in deck. I believe combo was used before Desires, so it also could be banished. And from this position, it still is tough if Happiness can amount any sort of defense. Because again, like, Jeebus doesn't have like a very strong engine going right now, but he has more board presence in terms of just offense, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be a scoop here. So that was actually quite a relatively back and forth game. Pretty happy to see, because I really didn't want this matchup to be a blowout, because they both had me convinced here that it was just super one-sided. And maybe like at the end of the day, the matchup is pretty unfavorable. That could still definitely hold true. But as long as the games themselves are relatively entertaining, then I'm totally cool with it. So siding into games 2 and 3, I wonder if it's worth bringing up their deck lists to kind of talk about. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and bring those up. I have to go into another browser and then bring those up. Let's see. I have to go into a Google spreadsheet to bring up their lists, if I can find them. All right, so here's Half Miss's list. I'm not going to show them on screen, but I'll just kind of talk about them. Okay, so yeah, we saw the main deck Bell here. Oh, all right, we don't even need to talk about it because that was a quick side decking process. All right. Never mind. All right, we're going to see Zugo first again, and then starting off with a copy of Barrage. That is going to resolve and grab a copy of... Dun dun dun. Is it going to be Blade? Is it going to be Ram? Is it going to be Whiptail? Is it going to be Bunny Blast? You know, Bunny Blast kind of nice, though. It can be nice to combo with like Wrap here to ensure you have follow-up. And it can also add back Barrage. Okay, so going to Borbo in the EMZ, this could telegraph an Avarice opener. Yep, just gonna go all the way into Hammer Kong. Oh, and then Trident. Okay, so maybe not gonna... Oh, alright, I stand completely corrected. Gonna go for Gravity Controller regardless, even committing the Trident. Talk about the fastest Ash. Alright, well, oh, I think this Imperm was a misclick, yeah. Alright. So it's interesting because like he used or summoned a Trident, where like you could have top decked another Zoo or like had another Zoo to normal summon like regardless of whether or not the Avarice resolved, and then just go into Dryden afterwards. So I'm curious as to why he committed the Dryden there, because then he just couldn't summon it this turn. But we're gonna see an opener of a Kowloon, and this is the card you always want to see, like in tandem with Lulu. Very, very strong cards. We're gonna see the trap being set or placed face up rather. Kirin is also a very strong card in this kind of scenario. Able to double Foolish, so you can send the Qinglong as well as something like a Nian Nian if you want to, which is really cool. Or just anything to set up a possible Lao Lao. Lao Lao. Yeah, I need to use my tongue when I use the L's, because sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing L's. If you guys couldn't tell, I had a bit of a speech problem when I was younger. Fun fact. Which is funny because I actually participated in speech and debate in high school. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know why I mentioned this. It has nothing to do with the game. But we're going to carry on here. Actually, like I mentioned, it's going to be the Qinglong as well as the Nian Nian. So that is very good. We're going to see a possible search for the Lulu. And yeah, Happiness is going to have to rely on the back of just non-engine defensive cards. It's possible he didn't commit a normal summon to Zoo just to like not play into Nibiru as well. But I mean, it was already playing into Nibiru regardless. So, but then again, like normal summoning a Zoo when you already commit Dryden doesn't really accomplish anything, which is why I found it kind of strange that he went for the Dryden. We're gonna see Qinglong being banished and waiting on a response possibly. But this is looking very good because you can set up Nian Nian. Just to summon itself, and then just go for whatever synchros or Xyz you basically want to that are multiples of 3. Which is something I really like about this deck, is its flexibility in being able to toolbox. Obviously, everyone thinks about VFD when they think about like the opening combos with this build or with this deck, but the deck can do a lot more, especially when going second, which is why it's cool to see. Gonna get rid of the trap off the Qinglong and then go for Lulu. That's gonna get ashed. We could just see again a normal summon and then just bring back the Nian Nian. Interesting that he didn't use this on the Qinglong, because that's grabbing Lulu every single time pretty much. Yeah, we're just gonna see again a normal summon and then bring back the Nian Nian. So maybe the matchup isn't as unfavored. Oh, okay, never mind. We're going to see Ice Dragon's Prison, and that's going to banish both of them. So that is a strong play for this turn, although it did also feed the Chuche to be able to pop more. Are we going to see the Nian Nian recycle? The answer is no. I think that's fine because you can like go main phase 2, banish this, and then you have 2 pops. Just going to hit for 800. This can't be killed in battle. Set 1 and pass. Yeah, we're going to have to see what Zoo cards. Alright, there are going to be no Zoo cards. I stand corrected. Are we going to see the Chuche pop the gravity controller just to get out of the way? Very possible. Yep, just going to recycle the monsters, the Nian Nian and the Lulu to recycle resources, get rid of the gravity controller, and then draw for turn. Very much, even if he doesn't find anything meaningful off the top, it's okay. Because like Zoo can have difficulties in this kind of a game state. Like when you're top decking, there's a reasonable chance you'll find a Zoo, but if you just keep drawing defensive cards like hand traps or Ice Dragon's Prisons and stuff, then it can be very, very difficult. But obviously playing like Tenki and a fair amount of Zoos and Desires as well, that's another card that can get you back into it. Are we going to see this resolve? The answer is yes. So yeah, gonna have to find a Zoo here pretty fast. I'm actually very surprised that oh, okay, we're gonna see Imperm on the Chuche. Okay, this is why I'm saying I'm kind of surprised, because this actually can only banish itself during his main phase. So I think that's also another kind of misplay, because I'm pretty sure he activated his Imperm to try and turn off the Chuche, so he like couldn't, you know, pop anything. But right now he can't pop anything, and he can't use this in the banish pile. So, or to banish itself rather. Why I don't know why I said in the banish pile, but like he can't use this right now to banish itself to fuel this, you know. So that Imperm I think was actually kind of a bit of a waste there. But we are going to see a normal summon a rat into a sending of Whiptail. Also interesting that he chose not to send combo for later. Maybe this means by sending Whiptail, he's going to try and Tiger Mortar it back. Not 100% sure what the goal is here. But you have plays from this position. You can definitely go for Borbo lines into Zeus. You can also go for Megaclops if you want to. But again, Megaclops in this matchup is also like just not the greatest. Simply because they have Xyz monsters that can out it pretty nicely. I believe it's Fan, the rank 6, that can out it, as well as the Break Sword. So there's multiple ways to get rid of it. And I don't remember the name of the DD Crow, or not DD Crow, DD Warrior Lady rank 3. That's part of the Data Escape archetype, or Virtual World. Getting all my names wrong here. But we're going to see just a 4 material Zeus here. And going to activate its effect. We'll see if there's a response. I mean, if that's like an imperm, you can just chain it again, of course. There wasn't really any other good point to imperm, because I don't think imperming Rat there does anything. Because you can see like sending Whiptail actually just ended up not mattering. Oh, I guess Gamo was probably banished off Desires. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, Gamo can definitely be banished here. So we will see what the response is. I mean, double hand traps would answer this for this turn. Or double, I guess, negations, not hand traps necessarily. Yeah, Impermanent response to the Zeus. Chain Zeus is channeling 3. Will we see like a Veiler? No, okay. So it's getting all the materials off board. So it was double Imperm set. Yeah, I really think that Halfmas thought that this could banish itself during either player's turn. I'm surprised that Hcabe didn't just use this at any point during either of the past 2 turns. He had 2 chances to do it. Like the first time it wasn't needed because he already had 2 banish with the Nyan Nyan and the Lulu. But oh, we're gonna see a top tick Qinglong, which is actually pretty decent. But yeah, based on what else is in the hand. So wait, we're gonna see Lao Lao going to send, and then it can revive the Kirin here. Now, if you had like a level 3, then you can like bring back the level 3 off the Lao and then bring back the Nyan Nyan by its own effect. So that would have been like 3 monsters, but you just settle with the 2 here, and that's pretty decent. Yeah, so now you can go for a rank 6. You can go for a, what's it called? Fan, and then use that to banish the Trident. So then Trident's just completely gone from the game, and now like you only have to really deal with one other Megaclops, because your opponent's conceivably not really going to be making a Megaclops if they don't have like a way to go like Trident, pop like their Ramps and stuff, unless they get just like so many Zeus on board. But yeah, Fan gonna be able to send Zeus and banish Trident. That's gonna be so strong here. This card is also like, if you guys saw my Cheap Competitive Contenders episode with Striker, like this card outs the Striker Link monster and banishes Ray. Like that is crazy. Imagine like if Striker was more popular right now, or like more in the metagame, like this is such a solid answer to that. They'd have to definitely be playing like Eagle Boosters, or just hope they have the Widow Anchor. But yeah, this is not looking super good for Halfmas here. Will we see? Okay, wait, we're gonna see the Gaia Charger into the Zeus. That's what I was just gonna ask, but yeah, this is also very strong. Yeah, we're gonna see Kowloon being banished. I presume off the Qinglong to negate the Zeus just for this turn, to fuel the banish pile a little bit. Even though there's no Chuche on the field right now, still is nice just to have these resources banished, because like this one you don't really care about it being banished. And the top deck is gonna have to be something pretty incredible to be able to deal with Zeus and still out it. It would have to be like a negation, like the 3rd Imperm or something, plus a Zoo. But at this point, you just hit the normal summon, and that's definitely just game over. And it's like super insane that you can send the Qinglong here as well, so now you just have a guaranteed follow-up. And it just keeps going and going. Oh, Reborn though. Alright, that could change things. That's a very good, solid card. Gonna bring back the Whiptail. Without Trident though, again, it's like hard to see what you make besides just another Zeus. And like this is going to be the last Zeus. So we are going to see a banish of the Zeus here. Gonna take 18, and then go for probably just a whole bunch of materials for Zeus. Oh, okay. Fair enough. This is the 4th summon, so that plays around Nibiru. But yeah, Qinglong again, just gonna be guaranteed follow up. and it's super hard to come back now if you're Zoo. Like, this is the last line of defense. If this gets outed, you're just completely out of steam, because this is the only real extender that the deck plays. I really think the deck should be playing cards like Living Fossil or Shovel Reborn, just because any gust of wind on your normal summon just ends your turn. We're gonna see normal summon Gigi, which we haven't seen all match actually, and then you could bring back the Nian Nian as well. But yeah, like if your normal summon gets popped by like a, I don't know, Dogmatic Punishment or like a Conquistador or like an opposing Trident, you know, like Zoo just has such a hard time doing anything. I feel like if people just adjusted for that, then Zoo would have to be forced to adapt and play more like Reborn type cards or just ways to, you know, play past it. We are going to see the Zeus come down here. Is it going to be a follow-up? Triple Tactics. Oh, you can just take the Zeus and attack for game. Feels bad. Yep. So yeah, it's funny, both players have 0 cards left in their hand, but ultimately, yeah, like this is kind of the thing with the Zoo here, just in general, is that it can face problems where if you run out of resources, you can definitely run out of steam. But I think it was still a pretty decent showcase of what the decks are generally capable of doing, and I'm glad I got to commentate a live match. I don't think I actually have any live commentaries on the channel, apart from, I guess if you want to count like the matches I did with MBT for the Reddit championship series, but those are also still replays. Like, this is like a legitimately live match being played out right now. So that was pretty fun to do, and hopefully I kept you guys entertained and not too bored. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on Discord, Twitter, or Twitch. All things in the description as always. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.